and today we're going to talk a little bit about furling systems. Great technique for furling away your jib or genoa, making sure that it's nice and easy on the crew and it looks great when it's finished.